to get something. Please, all three of you, make a promise here that no, we're not going to try to backstab each other. We're not going to try to pull some rabbit out of the hat and say, oh, aha, we got you on this. Because it's really refreshing. The three of you get along. You're here for a purpose. Mm-hmm. Either one of you can easily take Elizabeth Warren's place without any...
I would argue back on that.
You would be the one.
We'd all be a nice replacement, but I believe
you're the one.
That I'm the one.
You're the one. But I mean, it's amiable, and it's very refreshing. And it's Alex Veras. Have you met Alex Veras? You must have run into Alex before. Alex is... and I wanted to switch gears here. Alex, are you there? Alex, hang on a second, Alex. Hang on. Hang on. There we go. There you go. You there, Alex?
I'm here.
Okay. Now we got Beth Lindstrom here, and I was going to segue, and I wanted to talk a little bit about gun control. And you had a question that you wanted to ask her concerning gun control.
Well, I got a couple.
Well, go ahead. Start off. Go ahead.
Let's start with guns. I mean, we've seen a couple shootings, and as we all know, you violate the law when you enter a school with a gun. Where we start, the last shooting in Texas, my question to Ms. Lindstrom, and hi Beth, is that, what if anything the federal government can do? Because I think that for me personally, people with head problems, that's the problem. It's not the guns, it's people with head cases.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I agree with you. I think that we have a problem with these kids, and how are we going to deal with that? A friend of mine, actually, I just saw him at this event. He wrote an article in the Metro West Daily, and he talked about the uns, like the unnoticed, the detached, and how are we going to be able to identify? I mean, these kids feel there's something going on, and I think that's part of the problem. So I am a Second Amendment supporter, and I don't think that we need to identify that individual, and we don't need to put gun laws against the law-abiding gun owners, and that's a real problem.
Nobody is addressing. I've covered it many times on the show, and it's seen in mainstream media, but it's seen on a back page. And that is the proliferation of SSRI drugs being prescribed by doctors. All these kids are on Ritalin, Paxil, this, that, the other thing, uppers, downers, lefties, righties, because they daydream too much or they can't pay attention in class.
Right, and I'll tell you, I have 3 children with learning disabilities,
right.
So I very much know what that world looks like, mm-hmm. and have been doing alternative therapies But it is also being attached, and I'm not trying to blame any parents at all. That's not what I'm trying to say. But it's like, how do we identify whether it's the family, the teachers, the middle school teachers, who might see the biggest impact of bullying, mm-hmm. at that point in 6th grade and 7th grade, when that's most proliferant.
Prolific in high school. I remember even with my daughter too, and she's out of school now. She's going to be going to college this fall. But throughout, and it's different in rural areas, it's different in suburban areas, and it's very different in the city areas. It's very aggressive teenage culture, mm-hmm. in inner cities. I don't know where that aggression comes from. Maybe poverty, dysfunctional homes, or whatever.
I don't think it's just. I think
it comes from today's music. Today's Hollywood is not the Hollywood.
I agree.
There's a reason why classic television does well. The old Hawaii Five-0, why people watch those shows, because they weren't violent.
I agree, Alex. I'll tell you, I have 3 boys, and I watch them, and I was telling Chris here from my campaign, because when they were younger, they'd be watching Pokemon, and it was like that was the whole fighting, the battles and everything, and now they're all over each other on the couch, and I'm like, okay, that's it. These VCRs at the time are going away. I said, because there was a cause and effect to behavior.
Sure, right.
Now, and I remember. Was it Tipper Gore who was going after the music industry?
She was the one behind the explicit ratings on albums and CDs.
I feel like it's like with these video games. I mean, they're just desensitizing themselves to violence.
I can't stand them.
I walk in, I go,
just one quick question.
Go ahead, Alex.
All right, and this is I went to the convention, mm-hmm. and Chris, I've been a guest on Chris' show. If you are the party's nominee, how are you going to address the horrible record? I'm a son of immigrants, you know me, we've met, I'm Hispanic. How are you going to address the horrible record this party has in reaching out to people like myself or people who are immigrants who are now citizens?
The Hispanic community, African American community too.
Well,
I'll tell you what.
Sure.
I looked at the convention. To me, that's the last hurrah of the GOP as far as winning statewide office.
Right.
Because if that's what it looks like, the party has issues because just Hispanics and I'm Hispanic.
I disagree a little. I found it diverse. I found it actually indicative of population. I mean, if you've only got 7 or 10% of a certain minority as your population, yeah, I'd say plus or minus 7 to 10%. That was that minority. Yeah, go ahead. Well, I'm backing my guest here. Go ahead.
Party that has no credence.
Well,
no credence.
All right, let her answer, Alex. Let her answer.
I think just like making new friends, you have to figure out why someone would want to be a part of your party. Go to the why. And I think that there are a lot of commonalities across many peoples. And I actually I was on Haitian radio a couple weeks, and the radio host said, you know, what do you know about the Haitian community? I said, you know what, I don't. And that's why I'm here, because I want to learn.
Sure.
And because I think and there are, I mean, we're all human. We're all here on God's green earth. I mean, so why don't we start having these conversations? I have reached out to many communities, but I think that, but Alex, your point is, why would these communities want to be part of the Republican Party, right?
Right, Alex?
What I want to know is, why have candidates, effectively Republican candidates, since I've been voting, and effectively told 1/3 of the state's population your vote doesn't matter. And we see them with the run. I mean, just Hispanics themselves have over 60 elected Latinos, all Democrats. And when you look at Florida's 9th congressional district, which was created in 2000, the first two guys that ran for Latinos were Lawrence and Hable ties. So you look up here, you're a Democrat, but you move to Florida, you see the light. It's the same individual. And the party better wake up real soon, because I'm telling you, that's the last hurrah of that convention.
Well, I hear what you're saying. I know that when I started the party years ago, we did do outreach, and I would be certainly doing that in this campaign. Because, I mean, here's the thing. To me, I talk to folks and I say, you know, do the Democrat policies work for you? Have they been working for you?
Right.
And when we talk about that, you know, I get some of the Democrat narrative. Oh, it's the you know, you think that trickle down effect works. I'm like, well, how about starting with jobs? Do you think jobs is an important thing?
Yeah,
so I mean, I just think you have to engage
folks.
in the conversation of what's important. And so, if you're asking about the party in total, I would hope that they're having efforts. Again, like I said, I'm on my own. You know, this is the Beth Lindstrom campaign. So we'll be reaching out to everybody, and we already have.
All set, Alex? You all set?
All set there.
All right, buddy. You can call in later on tonight. If you're around,
I love coming down to Worcester.
You bet, my friend. Thanks for calling in.
All right, we'll see you.
Hi, Alex.
Yeah, very good friend of mine, Alex. Has been on the show. Delegate at the convention. Yeah, just, you know, he wanted to call in, and I vetted the question early. I said, all right, just, you know, he's not a big baker guy. But again, we have to agree to disagree. But getting
the
back
party does have to reach out. It does have to, because when you look at but I look at things as a business person, and as I was just saying, why would people want to buy your product? So you have to figure out the why to all of this, and then you go out and you talk to them about the why.
And not just sell that product, have a great product to sell. Be that Republican. Say this is why you want to be.
Well, and
the Republican
I went to
Party.
Lexington High School, and I talked to these high schoolers, and I was saying, this is why I'm a Republican. This is why. And I think afterwards, I mean, the hands were up, the questions, 20 kids were in the aisle still wanting to talk. That was so wonderful.
Good.
Because I went with the perception that, okay, you know, this might be, you know, more left-leaning group. And I was really surprised and pleased about the conversations that we were having.
Have you dared to venture into, well, he's in the Haverhill Lawrence area. That is very...
I've been up to Lawrence.
Lowell, my buddy Tom Duggan from the Valley Patriot. I mean, that area is just... I'm sorry, it's bad. It's just a bad area up there, and I mean, what are you going there? Are you meeting with any of the people that are up there? Some of the representatives up there?
Yes, yes,
yeah.
and actually, because we've gone through the Republican convention, going to the Republican town committees, looking for delegates, it's been mostly the Republican city committee and so forth. But I did do a tour with the city councilor there and looked at some of the areas.
Which city?
Lawrence.
Okay.
And have some friends in Lowell. But you look at all these cities. I mean, there's a lot of commonality about what are the frustrating things there, and I just think you have to get into it's really one vote at a time. It's like all politics is local.
And I think also it's that one party. It's a big Democrat haven up in that area. And getting back to Elizabeth Warren, it's like, where have you been? This is your state. You should know about these areas. Why aren't you here? Why aren't you in these neighborhoods and in these? Not just the DNC, but going to a place like Haverhill High School or Lowell High School or some of these other. Come here to Worcester. Go to one of the high schools here. Not, Holden, it was beautiful. They have a beautiful amphitheater there, but you could tell, oh, this is set up. This is, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. This is white bread community here.
Well, and that's why, she flies in at the last moment, puts those things together so that, she doesn't rally any.
She doesn't have to answer the tough questions from the tough crowd.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the website, bethforsenate.com. Awesome.
All right, thank you.
You were great. That was fantastic. I told you, no gotcha questions.
No, I'll do my best even if you had them.
Okay. That's all right. We're not going to be doing that. Come back.
Okay.
Always. And if it's easier to call in, you can always call in. John Kingston's tomorrow night, so I'm going to say, I had Beth here, and so what are you thinking here? Come on, let's have some counter. Let's have some pro and counter and back and forth.
Sounds good.
Beth,
all right,
awesome.
Beth.
Be
right,
good. Drive safe, folks.
All right, see you later.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Meat and Potato Show, conservative talk and awesome rock, KTNTradio.com. And I'm going to blow out a tune here, and we will be back. This is an old bread tune. That was awesome. That was awesome. Thank you. Woo!